Is there no low to which Jimmy Kimmel and the Walt Disney Company will go? The late night not so funny host going after a minority female celebrity for daring to be kind to the Orange Man. Jimmy Kimmel says, get in line or I'll slime you to no end. Today we'll tell you why Kimmel Live just might end faster than anticipated. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, damas y caballeros, yes, I know in every language we're using gendered language, but we'll do it here. It's not Magic Kingdom, it's okay. Folks, it's time to win again. We just keep winning and winning because we're grinning every time we get to say the truth with a capital T. And we're going to do so today with Jimmy Kimmel and his disastrous show that even Disney knows must go. We're talking about Nicki Minaj, Kimmel after her, fighting her with fire, and it could mean it won't be long until Kimmel himself even gets fired. All right, Jimmy Kimmel has found a new foe, and don't you know it? It's Nicki Minaj because, well, Jimmy Kimmel hates anybody who likes in any way the Orange Man. The Orange Godzilla makes him mad, his wife, and they're on a mission. And so they're fishing for any celebrity who would dare step out of line. Here's what it says out of consequence. Jimmy Kimmel on Donald Trump and Nicki Minaj. Quote, this is one of the strangest bedfellows yet. I mean, where is Cardi B with a fistful of shoes when you need her? Folks, let's go to the clip right now. And as we do so, I just want you to know, this is Disney Late Night. It's not about jokes anymore. It's not about fun. It's not about the frivolity of all of it. Nope, it's just about politics. And if you dare say anything that Jimmy Kimmel perceives as politically aligned with conservatives, he will slime you. And here is Jimmy Kimmel.
He's like a deadbeat dad who ignores all the stuff we need, then shows up randomly with a pair of high tops to try to buy our loves. There was a lot of star power at this.
Folks, by the way, did you know that anytime you tune into the Jimmy Kimmel show, you don't have to wonder. You could come in mid-joke. There's never a question of what Jimmy Kimmel's talking about. It is always Trump. It's all he's ever talked about. You can come in at any moment. It doesn't matter.
Event. Actress Cheryl Hines was there. Shark Tank judge Kevin O'Leary was there. And a very special guest, a woman who has recently emerged as one of the president's most unlikely fans.
There's a certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And, you know,
there she is. She's right here, the black woman.
Now, did you notice that Jimmy Kimmel actually had his audience boo? Which is to say, because you could hear the booing, and the booing is not from the video. The booing is literally from the Jimmy Kimmel audience that's booing over the audio for the video. Which is to say, Nat, that Jimmy Kimmel actually has the signs pop up inside his audience for late night TV. Instead of saying applause, it says boo. Or they were so lazy, Nat, that they inserted fake booing. Which one do you think it is, Nat? Which one would you go with?
Well, I said probably the audience cheered. They didn't know they weren't supposed to, and then they inserted booze on top of that.
All right, just a little bit more.
Only black woman in the whole room? That's her. I think Trump's looking for a Nicki Minaj repertoire because he really seems to dig him. This is one of his strangest bedfellows yet. I mean, where is Cardi B with a fistful of shoes when you need her? Again, this is an event about savings accounts. Nicki Minaj just made a last-minute midnight payment to avoid losing her house. She's at a savings account event with Donald Trump. And then
he goes on to just, I mean, listen, if you are a celebrity, and this is what everybody needs to know, whether they like it or not, whether you're afraid of him or not, if you're a celebrity, especially if you're a female celebrity, if you're a woman, and especially if you are a non-white female celebrity, if you do anything nice for President Trump, if you are in any way not totally negative about him, Jimmy Kimmel is going to lambast you in late night. He's going to attack you. He's going to go after you. Lauren, why? And I know the answer, but I'd like for you to, well, you may teach me something new about this. Lauren, why is it that the sites that defend, you have to believe every woman, right? Why? And you can't criticize somebody who is non-white. Don't do it. Where are they? It's crickets. Why is Nicki Minaj allowed to be mocked mercilessly by a white dude on late night just for her being kind? She's not even come out and said that she's like, rah, rah, go Trump, I'll vote for him, blah, blah, blah. She's just being nice to the guy.
Because it's never about the attributes. It's about the message. The attributes are there as a shield. They use that as a shield to defend their message. The message is the thing that they defend at all costs. And if you betray that message, you become part of the outgroup.
Well, she's in the outgroup. A little bit more. And then, Nat, I'd love to hear from you as to what you think about where this is going with late night. Because I think, Colbert has hit record lows now. I think Kimmel's behind him. I think he's catching up in terms of dropping down. And the reason I think that is because suddenly we're not getting ratings reports anymore. And whenever we're not getting ratings reports, that probably means that the ratings reporters don't like what they're seeing.
Just to make it weirder, Nicki had a moment with the Squeaker of the House, Mike Johnson, her fellow elf. They were embracing and...
It's all personal attacks. It's like physical attribute attacks. So, Nat, I think that the ratings are crashing. Jimmy Kimmel... Folks may not understand this. Jimmy Kimmel received a stopgap 1-year extension of his contract. It's really a pass the buck contract. It's really a way of saying Bob Iger didn't want to fire him. He wants the next guy to fire him. I think the next guy should come in and immediately announce, if it's Josh tomorrow, fine. He needs to come in and say, this is the final contract and wrap this thing up. It's just such mean-spiritedness. What say you?
Yeah, it's horrible. He's a horrible person, but I think he got a little boost from the last controversy he was involved in, and when they wanted to take him off air and then not, and then him fighting for free speech, even though they've never cared about that until they got issues with it. But I think that last boost gave him maybe a dumb idea that he was now able to do and say whatever he wanted, and he was very, very popular, when in fact people were just tuning in to see what he would say after the controversy. But it's obvious with the personal attacks and with the fact that he's going after what should be almost kind of like somebody you can't really touch within the industry and that you should criticize now, because she's supporting in some way, or at least talking to or being there at a Donald Trump event now. And we remember all of this. They started saying like, oh, this and this person is now white adjacent, so they're like, you can do whatever you want. So now she's right, I guess, adjacent, or Republican adjacent, so now she's fair game.
Yeah, and Jimmy Kimmel is uncancelable now. We said that he would be. However, he can fade away with that contract. Now, you are correct that he did get a little bit of a boost after the last controversy when he was taken off the air. For the year of 2025, the entire year, he saw a 4% increase in the demo. However, a large part of that increase came from people tuning in over the weeks after he was, he came back to see how far he would go. And by the time we got to the end of the year, that had largely gone away again. So I think that 2026 could see Jimmy Kimmel just absolutely crash, because I don't think people they don't want to collapse into their bed at night and watch this kind of stuff. I really don't believe that this is what people want out of late night. Let me show you one last thing, because in this same thing, where does he go to next? Let me see if I can find it. We want to hit the exact frame. Well, it should be right there. There it is. This is the next segment in Jimmy Kimmel. As soon as he's done lambasting Nicki Minaj, he goes to this dude who sprayed apparently apple cider vinegar on the sleeve of Ilhan Omar. And of course, he treats this, as he believes it's a horrific, awful act. And it's just amazing to me. This is the guy who lied about Charlie Kirk, viciously lied about it. But he's incensed over this lady being sprayed with apple cider vinegar on her sleeve. And many out there are suspicious of it. I'm not going to give my viewpoint one way or the other, but Jimmy Kimmel can't stand that. And this is a late night monologue. This is the laugh track of the evening. And people can't understand why the audience is leaving. It's done. It's over. Lauren, they sacrificed this. I'll give you the final word. They sacrificed late night. Colbert's at record lows. Kimmel's not far above him. They sacrificed late night, something that Americans have loved for decades. The world has loved for decades. They sacrificed it to be mean and to be abrasive about politics. They didn't care that they were going to make it go away in just a few years of doing this. They're cultural arsonists, Lauren.
Playing a bit of devil's advocate, they're also reading the room for the younger generation who don't have the appetite for long-form entertainment. They prefer clip-based stuff, and so they're producing clippy content. That's not to defend the content itself. I think that these guys are hacks and partisans and not funny at all. But I think that the studios collectively decided that late night was something that the older generation was interested in, that the newer ones weren't, and so they're perfectly willing to let that go for something else.
There you go. Well, I think Gutfeld has increased his lead in the last year. I think that's going to continue, folks. We'll keep an eye on it. Late night will survive. Gutfeld will still be there. Fallon will still be there. Even Jon Stewart. And we don't care if you're left, right, center, whatever, folks, but you got to put on a good show. And Jimmy Kimmel, all he knows is vitriolic dissent and hatred with TDS. Frankly, I don't think that's something that Americans want to mess around with right before bed. Folks, it's time to bid you adieu, but we hope that you will help us anew. And that is, we're only asking you click that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. And oh, by the way, have you gone the way of thatparkplace.com? www.thatparkplace.com. It's the website that if you're not yet bookmarked to, well, you should be. A bastion of truth and knowledge when it comes to entertainment and everything that's going on. Go check it out today, folks. We would love to have you over there as well. All right, we are getting ready to head out, but do not fret, for we will put out 4 more videos tomorrow, so long as the good Lord allows. And we believe that probably, just might, happen. All right, until the next time we get to share time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.